The Joe Rogan Experience.
The idea in Vedic thought is that there's devas or higher beings, and then there's the devati deva, like a Judeo-Christian tradition would say God.
How much of what these people are experiencing and talking about in the Bhagavad Gita and all the texts has to do with soma and has to do with psychedelic rituals that they were participating in while they were doing these things?
Soma? How do you know about soma? So funny. I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, it's a commonly known thing, I think.
Yeah, soma is a beverage on the moon.
Oh, okay, the moon makes sense. But
it's a beverage,
right?
It's just
but
like
it's a combinatory beverage, a psychedelic sacrament that we haven't established.
By the way, I'm speaking like a matter of fact.
I understand.
I don't know this.
Yeah,
well, I'm saying it could be true, and this is what they teach. So that's how we learn the Vedas.
What are the ingredients?
It's otherworldly. You can't try to recreate it on Earth. There's plants, they say, that don't grow here. And there's beings that grow. Now, we just hear these stories and it's myth. But you know what? The zebra's a myth. I live around a bunch of beautiful turkeys. But if you've ever seen a peacock, turkeys look like boring. You know what I mean? Peacocks are unbelievable.
Yeah, they're pretty wild.
A quetzal is unbelievable. I don't
know what a quetzal is.
Quetzal is a South American bright colors. What's his name?
Crazy
Montezuma
bird?
wore his feathers on his hat. So if all you know is robins, an occasional cardinal, when you see a quetzal or a peacock, it's like, what the?
Yeah.
Right? So someone could say, well, you're really going to believe in the wind god? Come on. But we say, hey, look, there's an ant on the table, and I blow on the ant. The ant runs for his life. In the ant's brain, he's not thinking, oh, Raghu is blowing on me. He's just thinking, danger, danger, danger. Yet I'm actually I'm a being. I'm a being with a family, with ideas, with thoughts, with a home. So the yogis say, you don't know, but they say that everything is a personality. Not just you. Because in one sense, if I look at you, you're just a big lump of earth and flesh, water, blood, whatever lens you want to look, the periodic table, earth, Chinese elements, Indian elements, however they're going to look at matter. But you're not. The yogis say you're not that. You just have that. So they say the earth itself is a being. It's a living being. And all the animals are living beings. And outside of the earth, there are living forces. All the planets are beings. That's why get ready for a detour. That's why if you study Jyotish or Vedic astrology, there's different mantras to the different planets because the planets affect your karma. So some people want to, they realize, man, I would love to get your chart done. Because when you have people like yourself, or even myself on a lesser level, where we have some types of extremes in our life, you can read it in their chart. It becomes very obvious. Same with criminals. It's in their chart.
Really?
If you really knew how little control we have of our life, it's shocking.
Now, what kind of astrology is this?
They call it Jyotish or Vedic astrology.
And it's based
I'm no astrologer. I just have had my charts done a lot. It's an ancient system. It's not based on the sun. It's based on the moon.
And what do they need to know?
They need to know your birth time, your longitude and latitude of where you're born. Like, for example, I was born on... I'll tell you a good story. Do you mind?
Sure.
I went to a great astrologer once, and these guys are real, simple, humble people. And he lived in an ashram, and I said, I want to know my chart. And he just said, I'm not very good. I said, come on, I've heard you're the best. He said, I'm not very good. And he said, but I will tell you what Parashara thinks of you. Now, Parashara was the father of the person they say scribed or spoke all the Vedas, Vyasadeva, who was one of the great sages of India. So Parashara was his father, and he's responsible for Jyotish, or what's called the horror shastras, where they get the word horoscope from. And these are all to do with studying the luminaries, studying celestial bodies, and to pinpoint you in relationship to them. So he said, well, at a certain period when you were born, there was a rising star, and from that star we can calculate your chart. So he asked, I gave him all my statistics, birth time and date and longitude and latitude. And then he opened up these books that he had on his shelf. This guy doesn't know me from Adam. He just goes, this is the star of music and spirit, and you will spread music and spirit throughout the world.
Whoa.
It's pretty right on. I've been through some very powerful astrologers, palm readers, mystics who don't even need your palm. They say they're astrologers or they say they're palm readers. They look right in your face and tell you all about your life. And and I'm not one. Like, I've met many who could blow your mind.
I would have to. It would have to be someone who doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, well, it's harder for you, but I'm less known. But
Yeah.
in India, no one knows you anyway. But
Right.
but
I don't want to have to go to India.
You know, it's one of those things, and I'm not one of these New Age guys.
Right.
Like, I'm a New York skeptic.
Okay. But you believe in Ganesh.
But I believe Ganesh could be. Could he be? Sure he could be.
I think most likely people were taking Soma, and Ganesh appeared to them then.
Or that could have happened too.
I've seen things on psychedelic experiences that are very similar to that. Very similar to a god.
I think psychedelia can bring you into this otherworldly realms. And even according to the Vedic concept there's other realms and everything's divine and everything's a person and there's 33 million gods. And then, of course, and that's within the material universe.
Right.
And the material universe has higher planets. It has lower planets, like the Christians would say hell. But they talk about whole mandalas or discs, layers of hells. But differences from Christianity, and I don't know where the Christians actually got it from or when it was added or subtracted, but the Vedas teach about none of them are eternal, meaning you don't stay there. Just like we don't stay here. We're just sort of doing time on this planet. We do time. We learn a lesson. You get some karma. You get some good or bad karma. And if you don't learn your lesson, just like jail, if you don't learn your lesson, sometimes you get an added sentence. What do they call that?
Yeah.
You're going to get 2 life sentences. You know.
Right.
But sometimes people are out early. They get paroled. They get pardoned, or they get or they just say, okay, you're in charge of the library. You're not dangerous. You're not a threat, and we're going to let you out. You're good behavior. So according to how we behave in this world, we're perpetuating ourselves. We're going way low, or we sort of go high, and people go high all the time. It's impressive. And you take that micro and put it on a macro as well. And to the degree that you sort of don't learn your lessons, that's okay. I've noticed in my own life, if I don't learn a lesson, I got to get that same lesson again.